Welcome to the first 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad. It's Black Boy Ice Warrior and yours truly, Puma. We're going quick to hot takes. Black, I'm going to go to you first with your hot take, man.
There's something going on, man. I'm looking at these NBA refs getting fined $50,000, $20,000. You spoke up last week about the game that went on with the Lakers, the excessive foul shooting the Lakers did. It seemed like it's happening more and more. And I'm going to flip this before I give you guys a question. I saw a video with Emmitt Smith that questioned a play in the Detroit LA game recently. And he was like, is NFL starting to play up to basically Las Vegas? It makes you start to wonder, man. That's the question. Are we really watching a sport, or are we watching pure entertainment now for the dollars?
Ice?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm still torn, bro, because instead of going to the other side, the light side, with Puma's on, I was talking about conspiracy and stuff like that too. I still gotta believe that there's still some real something in there. It might be a lot lighter, but I think that there's still something to it because one, there's too much money involved, bro. Folks would get hurt if they just kind of fixed it. I'm serious. I mean, literally, and I'm not trying to be funny, but it's some real money being bet. People might come up missing. So I don't know. I mean, I think they like the entertainment part, but the other part, you still got to make it some kind of somewhat real.
I'm going to call out a player from the Philadelphia Eagles that I've been watching all season avoid tackles at all costs. He's number 31, Kevin Bard. I've seen him avoid tackles, making business decisions. Somebody needs to investigate because I've seen this guy run away from the guy with the ball or just wave his hand at him in several games, not just one game, in several games. That secondary is horrific. But he's making business decisions. I've been saying this all along. To me, it's entertainment. So just entertain me at this particular point because I know that somewhere along the line, there are too many people that can be involved in messing with these games, man. You see, it's not even obvious. It's so obvious now. It is so obvious now on what's going on that to me, I said it a few weeks ago. I'll keep saying it until somebody listens to it. It reminds me of the WWF right now. I have the same feeling that I had watching the WWF and go, you know what, man, I'm gonna stop buying these magazines. I'm gonna stop talking about this stuff. I'm gonna stop watching this because, it's the good guy, bad guy, and whoever's popular gets to win. So, yeah, it's entertainment to me. And if we look at the fine print in some of these games and some of these agreements and some of the things, the disclosures they're giving the game, I'm pretty sure we can find the word entertainment in the NBA and NFL that they're just blowing by us, and they can say, "We told you, we didn't hide it from you. We told you in this disclaimer. You failed to read the disclaimer." It's just like when you agree to an app. None of us read all those things in the app. We just, I gotta have it, and we press the button, not realizing we're giving all our information to whoever. Black.
Yeah, I knew this was going to resonate with you, Paul, so I just knew it was. I'm going to say this, man. There are times when that tackling stuff, bro. That number 31. I'm gonna be honest with you. Go back and look at Deion Sanders play. He did the same thing, bro. And guess where he is today? The Hall of Fame. So I'm gonna leave that there. The entertainment part of it, I think to an extent, I'm not gonna say it's fully entertainment, but I think there are certain games that you want to look at with a little scrutiny. And just like as you posed last week, man, when you got one team shooting 26 free throws in one quarter, come on, man. And like that coach said from Toronto, just tell us you want them to win. We won't show up. Just tell us that. Just tell us you want them to win. We'll give the game to them because that right there says to me, I'm not saying it's for the money. It could have been because it's the Lakers, whatever it is, but you can't be that blatant. You can't be that blatant. But I'm not surprised that there's certain parts of the game that somebody do something, they kind of throw it. Because as I said, there's so much money involved. And one big thing that comes with a lot of money, temptation. I remember years ago in the NFL, wanted nothing to do with Las Vegas. Where are they now? When fantasy football first came out, I remember when it first came out, I was playing it. NFL didn't want nothing to do with it. No, we don't like it. We don't like it. It was basically pushed aside on Yahoo, different places you go play. Yeah, we want nothing to do with it. Guess who owns a lot of it?
Yep.
So companies right now that's doing fantasy football. NFL owners. Keep that in mind.
Ice, your hot take.
Yeah, I just actually saw this not too long ago. What's happening today is The Indiana Pacers trying to be for real, man, in
Oh yeah.
basketball. They made the trade for Pascal Siakam. It's like really, they have a center, they have these like small little guards and small forwards, and they got a real power forward, and they win the ball games. Might want to watch out for them. They gave up some first round picks, but they're trying to get into it right now. So I want to get you guys' take on that.
Black.
When their coach went there from Dallas, I was like, yeah, they're just bringing them in. They don't need nothing that much or anything. They got some players, but they're not going to. Guess what? You're right. They're serious about it, bro. There's something about Indiana and basketball, whether it's college or NBA. If you think about over the years, who's been the coach of the Pacers, who's been the players, who's been the general manager, they've always taken it serious. So I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised. That franchise gets it, man. They don't like just being out there showing up and losing. So, yeah, good for them. I'm happy to see it. And that was a nice trade. Very nice trade. Good pickup. I mean, everybody knew that guy was available. I'm surprised he went there. I mean, Knicks, you couldn't use him. But anyway, I'm happy to see that there is one team in the East that's seriously trying.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna finally get my wish, and I don't want it now. Remember, I was wishing for Zion Williamson. I got a sneaky suspicion, and they're gonna try to pick him up. I got a sneaky suspicion there, but that's a good pickup for Indiana. They are for real. They see that there's an opportunity in the East. Despite Boston, despite what Milwaukee's doing, Indiana is coming. Another team that's coming in the Eastern Conference, and we'll talk about a little bit later, the Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid is playing out his mind. He wants that MVP, and it just seems like he wants that NBA title also. He's seeing what the Joker is getting, all the adulation and all that. He wants that. He's looking hungry. Like, a lot of people said potential of him. He's looking hungry, and he's playing out that potential. But Indiana, man, that's a team to watch. And Milwaukee has a lot of problems with the Indiana Pacers. They had the problems in the tournament, and they're going to continue to have problems, especially with Siakam joining the team. Ice?
Yeah, you just think about what they have already. A legitimate power forward. You got Nesmith over there. You got your favorite dude, the Watcher Mathurin. You got him over there at 6'5", 6'6". Buddy Hield's over there, and you also got Miles Turner. They are, man, and they come and you got scores. And the one thing about Siakam, he can shoot a three, he can run, he can jump, he's long, he can do whatever you need to, and he can definitely play that four. So, the other guys, besides Turner I mentioned, they're like 6'5", 6'6", so they all been playing that power forward and a small stature. But you get a guy like that at that size, a legitimate power forward, with a coach that is gonna be like, you know what? Just go get it. Go get it. That will be a very difficult matchup for anybody down the road.
Yeah, leave that young man alone. He did not mean to touch that woman and when he was at Arizona. Get off that. I caught that. Let's go to the NFL wild card. You know what, Black? I don't want to give a lot of time to the Dallas Cowboys because to me, the Dallas Cowboys are irrelevant. They've been irrelevant for the last 13 years. Sorry, Dallas Cowboy fans. It's true. The Steelers have been irrelevant. The Giants have been irrelevant. Two of my favorite teams. And so I want to give credit to the Green Bay Packers who went in there and stomped a mud hole in the Dallas Cowboys and exposed the Dallas Cowboys. We said it last week. If the Dallas Cowboys weren't serious, that Green Bay can go down there and they have a winning record down in that stadium and more playoffs wins in that stadium in Dallas. And they just said, you know what? We're going to go down there and we're going to dominate. That's what Jordan Love said at the end of the game in his interview. We're going to come in here and we're going to dominate. That's what they did. I don't want to really talk about Jerry Jones or whether or not it was Dak Prescott's fault and all this other stuff, because the memes have been hilarious. But okay, let's get on with the playoffs and the teams that are in the playoffs. I'm done with talking about the Dallas Cowboys, but I'll give it over to you, the wild card and upcoming divisional games. What are you looking to see, and what did you see last week?
Man, these young coaches, bro, are doing something in this league. I want to say this though, and like you said, I'm not going to talk about them boys, but remember a few years ago, and a lot of teams should take notice of this coming draft coming up. A lot of teams should think about this. They have quarterbacks that are, you know what? Remember when Green Bay drafted Jordan Love? Everybody lost their everlasting mind. Hey, they need a receiver for Aaron Rodgers. They need a receiver for Aaron Rodgers. And they was like, we're thinking of the future. Well, that future is here. That team is the youngest team in the NFL. And tell me what, if they don't know how to punch you in your mouth and basically look you down, that's what they did, man, last weekend, bro. Now, they may not get past next week in San Fran, but guess what? Jordan Love, did you watch him on Jordan Love? Did you watch him?
Mm-hmm.
I might be saying his first day wrong, but I'm so mean. That cat was throwing passes like, I called my son. He is cutting up that defense like Swiss cheese, bro. Cutting it up on his back. I was like, and then you switch over. Go to the Houston Texans. And I said this early on to you, these young quarterbacks, bro, they come in the league playing. Have you watched Stroud? I watched this cat all year. Another one, not phased, looking down the field, not making dumb mistakes. And they have, look at the young coach they have, and the assistant coordinator, offensive coordinator, 34 years old. So they're killing these young cats to kill the league. So when I hear Mike Tomlin saying, I'm coming back for another year, come back for another year for what? What are you coming back for another year for? What are you coming back for, bro? The game has passed you by. These young, innovative thinkers, man, forget this stuff, what it tells you. Nah, they out there running plays. They're fearless. And that's what I'm saying. So these young coaches, man, if you look around the league and in the playoffs, that's what I'm seeing. Houston, I'm going to go right there, bro. I mean, they might lose again this coming week, but that team right there, Cleveland tried. They're not, that defense doesn't necessarily travel. They try. And I'm sorry. I'm going to say this, get out of the way. The NFL should be ashamed of themselves, bro.
Yeah.
They make people sit and watch in the cold, minus 7 degree temperatures, 25 minus degrees. That is I don't care what you try to be. You should not play a football game with that. You got people right now in the hospital in Kansas City that sent out there and watch that game. They don't care. They do not care. That was brutal, bro. To play, for the fans, all of it. There's no game, I guess, in my mind, worth all that. If you can move one game, and they wouldn't have moved the Buffalo game if the governor of New York stepped in and said, no, we're not playing it. They had nothing to do with the NFL. She said, no game will be played today, move it to Monday. That's how that happened. So when you think about the NFL as your friend, they don't give about you.
Yeah, and also making people pay a subscription to watch a game. Talking to my father on the phone, he was pissed. A whole bunch of people were pissed about that. But I was watching the Miami game in Kansas City, and Tyreek Hill was like, man, those guys jammed my ass to Cancun because they wouldn't let him get off the line. It was cold, and he wasn't making much of an effort to get downfield because it's like, you know what, Cancun is much warmer than being up here in Kansas City. I don't want to go through this anymore. Your eye test of the wild card games last week.
Yeah, man. I mean, right there in Kansas City. I mean, what you supposed to do? Everybody knew what was going on. And as you said earlier, the NFL, they don't care. They're about that money, about that shield. Always have been that way. But everybody's like, well, no, they really care about us because they're doing this and this. Man, please. Look, if you're going to get out there, they're going to sell you a ticket. And that's what they did. If nobody told you to go out there, you went out there. Well, that's a shame. I said it was a shame too. Had my ass hit right up here warm and everything, drinking hot toddies and everything. But I'm just saying, so you go out there, it's your call. But Kansas City did what they had to do. Miami still has some things to work on talent-wise, but it's just another season from that standpoint. Texas over the Browns. Wow, C.J. Stroud, really, that whole nucleus, offense, defense, coach, quarterback, everybody they buying in, man. That's what I love about football, or really even in basketball too. Team sports where guys are buying in. Everybody's like on the same page. They're buying in. And I don't know how far the Texans are gonna go, but I love it. I love CJ Stroud for what he's doing and just the way they're connected overall. Hell of a game between the Rams and the Lions, man. Yeah. Say what you want to. They were balling. They were balling. I didn't know who was gonna win, but that was one great game. And then to watch the two quarterbacks come together and show mutual respect, that was cool. That was really, really good thing to look at. And Buffalo just keeps being Buffalo, man. Buffalo, like, look, we don't care about nothing else, Steelers, whatever, whoever playing, who not playing. We're just going to keep marching. They've been marching for a long time, trying to get to that spot. They did a great job there, too. Eagles, man, I think they gave up. They gave up the ghost about 5 weeks ago. And Buccaneers just said, you know what? Baker Mayfield said, "Look, I want to thank y'all personally. I keep making money. I'm at about $2.9 million in bonus right now. My
Bonuses,
wife's
yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's keep making money. He's like, and I'm gonna make more money next week too. So that was kind of bizarre with that too. But it's crazy. And last but not least, man, let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this other part to my last second shot because I really need to get into that. So I'm not gonna be long on this. But I'll say this that when you think about we talk about all the stuff going on with the Dallas Cowboys, how long it's been, and all that other stuff. The one thing I will say very quickly in this segment is the fact that I said it before and I'll say it again that I don't see any leadership on this team. And everybody want to point at who it is and point fingers and stuff, but like I said, I've been watching it for a long time, and I understand it. But this team has no leadership, so they get behind. You let a young team come in here and they just throttle you. They throttle you. There's no leadership, so you throw it at Jerry Jones. Okay, do that. He's the guy that brings it in, but he don't make no plays. But you got the coach does what he does. Okay, you get people amped up. You got I call him Mr. Sleep Number, Dak Prescott. So I mean, you got all this money and whatnot. So I mean, and then you look on the defense with Michael Parsons and those guys over there. There's no leadership, no dog, no dog in them. We won 12 games again. No dog, and no dog to come back and fight. And then they get just blown out at home. And it's like, now what? Now what? For the bandwagon fans that came on from the 90s on, and everybody just happy because, the part of it too is like my last point on this is, I think Michael Strahan said it best. They're acting like performers, like they're at plays. Y'all not the old Cowboys. Y'all living off the other famous things that the other previous Cowboys have done. You're not. What they should do, and I'm going to talk about it later on, I get off to my last point is this, they should take, if the NFL allows it, take the damn stars off the helmets. Learn how to become Cowboys. Seriously, because y'all not. Contrary to belief, y'all not the Dallas damn Cowboys. Y'all walk around here chest all poked out. What the fuck are you doing? You ain't done nothing. And I know I'm old, crotchety, whatever, I'll take all that. But y'all ain't done shit. The only thing I'm seeing different is the quarterback change. Tony Romo, and now we got Dak Prescott, and he got a sleep number commercial.
Two things I'm gonna mention because it's ironic that Black is wearing that blue today because he was all in on the Cowboys a few weeks ago. MVP, Dak.
No.
Yes, you won.
No.
Calling great games.
No, I was in the matchup for that week. Let me be correct. I was in the matchup for that week. I wasn't in. And I'm glad you said that because here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. Everybody talk about they won 15 games at home and stuff. Who did the Cowboys beat this year in regular season?
Yeah.
That's the question. That's why I was amazed. I picked Green Bay to win last week. Because Cowboys, who did they beat? They beat up on the Giants. They beat the Jets. They beat all these bad teams. Anytime they play anybody good, I mean, they had a great schedule. And everybody forget. And Dak MVP win? How? If you're knocking the Giants out and beating the Commanders, how you MVP? Yeah. I mean, realistically, that's what it's just, I go back to what was said years ago. I forgot the Pittsburgh Steelers that said this, but it's the truth. Cowboys are paper champions. They're always going to be that, bro. They're paper champions. Every year it's the same thing. They beat bad teams. Oh, we them boys, we going there. Don't let the blue fool you because I know what I went to me as a week. I picked who that was matched up against, and I did win that week. But it's the same old thing. And for you idiots, I'm being honest. I'm saying this and I'm going to run. They think Belichick is the answer?
Oh, man. I have a brother-in-law named Roy. I'm a shout about big Cowboy fan. I texted my father right before halftime. I said, "Did you check on Roy?" He was like, "No, I'll check on him at halftime." When Dak threw that interception, that pick six, I'm like, I think you need to check on him right now because after that pick six and 27-0, I'm like, this game is pretty much
over.
It's pretty much over. No way you coming back with 4 touchdowns in one throw like Dak tries to do. And then the empty calories. He had like I think 409 yards
every game.
Every game. he puts up those big numbers. I don't think it was totally his fault. It was the defense fault, in my opinion. You gave up 48 points. You gave up 40. That gave up maybe I'll say 42 points because that gave you 6. But yeah, your defense, who I thought was a great defense coming into this year, they exposed you. And Jones, like I said last week, just ran holes through the Dallas Cowboys, and they just set up the run for the pass. Here's the one thing I'll say to the NFL: put some respect on running backs, because running backs are deciding these playoff games. Running and defense are deciding playoff games. Put some respect on running backs. Pay these guys. Pay them. Pay them.
You know what it is, man? The running backs aren't 6 anymore, bro. These quarterbacks are 6. It is what it is. And that's not going to change for a long time.
Yeah. Let's go to the divisional part of the playoffs. You have Detroit. Tampa Bay's going to Detroit. Kansas City's going to Buffalo. You have Houston going to Baltimore, and Green Bay going to San Francisco. Ice, your thoughts on these games, man?
Man, it's a lot going on here, especially that I'm starting Buffalo, man. If there's a time for Buffalo to get the Kansas City Chiefs, it's now. If they are the real deal, like they say they are right now, the Kansas City wide receivers are just, I mean, they're horrible. It might be cold up there too. If there's a way, Buffalo, hey, if this is the time you want to catch a wounded animal, it's time. It is time for the Chiefs. So I don't see why Buffalo can't win this game. I mean, I know Magic Mahomes, that's my guy. I like him, but it's your time, Buffalo. Will be no other time. This is your time right there. Stick with the Ravens and the Texans, man. Anybody else but Mar. And I'm still not gonna give up on them because the way that the Texans play, they don't care, bro. But I think that cold weather is gonna have something to do with it. And Mar, man, he let everybody get confident and whatnot. And then just when you think you got him, he started running. And you go, man, God. It's like when you were a kid and you had that dude that was the fastest dude in the neighborhood, and you could never catch him. So you get mad, you get a chance to take a shot and run him into the fence. That's what you do. Stop it. Why you do that, dude? Just playing football, dude. But yeah, but Mar, man, that's who he is, bro. So I think it's gonna be very difficult, particularly up with the weather. But I still like the Texans. I wish them well. Lions, Buccaneers. I mean, you say Lions, and it's in Detroit. It's inside. I mean, they're playing well, but Baker, bro, he do stuff like this. This is what he does. Baker, because I thought Detroit would win a lot more, would win by a lot more points against the Rams, right? But if they come in and they're not ready, and Mike Evans is gonna be feeling good in that stadium because it's gonna be warm, Baker mess around and try to get you there, bro. That's what I'm saying. Plus, he's gonna get more money if they win. So I think that, to me, that's almost like a toss. Even though the Lions are ahead. And last but not least, Packers and 49ers. I mean, Mr. Love is a baller, doing what he has to do, take nothing from him. They played strong, beat the hell out of the Cowboys like they're supposed to. But the problem with that is when you're going to San Francisco, it's not cold. Folks is healthy. McCaffrey been waiting to play football, bro. And when you get him healthy and signed up, and the other thing too, get out this very quickly, the defense for San Francisco will come along, do what they have to do, try to put more pressure on Love. And despite what certain folks they may think, I know I had him up talking about MVP. Purdy don't have to win the game, y'all. If you really understand football, he's more of a game manager. They got a lot of pieces. I know he got a lot of stats he's throwing around, but he does not have to win the game. Okay? They would love to have a 20-7 game. They can get it and get on out of there. They have a lot of pieces. When they're healthy, they can play with a lot of good teams. And it's going to take a very special team like a Baltimore, somebody that can really shut everything down and can be very physical to beat San Francisco. I don't think that's going to happen this week. Proud, there's not a lot of love to Mr. Love and the Packers, but I think they're going down.
Yeah, I think San Francisco and their offense has to keep Green Bay and Jordan Love off the field, and they got to do ball control, and they got a lot of pieces to do that. Black, I remember in the offseason, Lamar could be saying this song. Back then, they didn't want me by Mike Jones. Now I'm hot, they all on me. And I think he's on a mission. I think he wants to prove to all those teams that said, you know what, we don't really need you as a quarterback. He wants to prove that, hey, I want to be MVP and I want to be Super Bowl MVP after this is all said and done. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna start right there. I think you're right. I like the Texans, and I think the Texans are gonna hang in there with them. But I do think Lamar's will. I think they will. Like I said, he's that type of cat, man, that you chase him all day. You catch up, you do something to him because you've been running and breathing hard, and he's just kind of like taking it easy, man, just doing what he does. So I think that's what's going to come down to. I think Baltimore itself, man, they're on a mission themselves. I think they kind of really see it's in front of them. It's laid out. But Lamar, I just don't think he's going to allow this team to go under. I'll be surprised if they lose. But I do think Texans going to play well enough, but I don't think they're going to be able to take them down. I'm going to look at Buffalo, Kansas City. I watched Buffalo. I'm not impressed with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh should have been in the playoffs. I'm really not. I'm not saying they didn't play a good game, but you know what? When you decide to take off, 95 can be ready for you. When you decide to take off and run against the Kansas City Chiefs, things are going to be a little different. I don't trust Buffalo's coach. I just don't. I like the offensive coordinator, but I don't trust their head coach. And you know, if you think about it now, he's the reason why they gave up that 13 seconds of Kansas City a few years ago. I think if Kansas City come in there and pound them on the ground, don't look to kind of basically do a lot with the receivers. I like how they set some receivers aside last week, so you're not even going to play. But they pound that ball and make it a close game. I'm going to take Kansas City to win that game. Yeah, I just don't trust Buffalo.
Pacheco is
yeah. If they can come in and just pound and, you know, don't try to get in the air it out, but they can get ahead, I think it's going to be a totally different game. So I'm going to take Kansas City. I don't see Tampa Bay doing anything with Detroit, bro. Detroit's so happy that they won a playoff game. They're in the playoff. And I got to give it to Goff. That was the best game I've ever seen Goff play, bro. I mean, he did have a couple of bonehead plays in there, but that was one of the best games in his career that he played. So if he can come back next week and play that again, I think he'll get past Tampa Bay. I think Green Bay is going to slow San Fran down. And I remember you said a few weeks ago, San Fran defense wasn't what it was early in the season. And they can get ran on. But I think their offense, I said one name, man, McCaffrey. That cat right there, he's another one. Just keeps coming. It just keeps coming. He just won't. He just keeps coming. You hit him, he keeps coming. Look, you know, you think he keeps coming. So I think between him and their receivers, I don't think Green Bay defense can handle that for 4 quarters. I think they're gonna hang in there by the 4th quarter. They're gonna open it up. So I'm gonna take San Fran. So San Fran, basically Detroit. I got KC and I got the Ravens.
Okay. All right, we will see, and hopefully all of you will enjoy the games over the weekend. Let's go to the NBA. There's a surprise team that this shouldn't be a surprise, but the Clippers have been lights out. Those veterans are playing really well. They beat a game OKC team last night. They are 8-2, and they are 4th in the Western Conference. I mentioned about the Philadelphia 76ers. They are 6-4 in their last 10, but Embiid is really kind of playing really, really hard. They are 16-6 at home, 10-7, not too good on the road, 10-7. But if they can tighten that up, man, they might be a 3-team race in the East. Let's go to Black.
I see Philly, and I see the coach got them playing, you know, stronger, better than they did than the last coach that was there previously. And you're right, Embiid is out there. He's on a bad tier. I don't trust his health. I just don't. But I don't know how that's gonna hold up. And to me, you know, I listened to Shaq last night. That's one of the few things I ever do. But I listened to him. He made a good point. He said he talked to Tobias Harris, and he said that you must, when the playoffs come, you must average 6 to 8 more points than what you're giving them now. And I don't trust Harris can do it. I just don't. And he's real. If he can do that, B stay healthy, yeah, I think they're a team to be reckoned with. But they, you know, if you can slow down Maxey, you know, Max is, I mean, that brother's playing out of his mind. But if I look at them long term, if you can slow him down and just make it all Embiid, they're not going anywhere. I see you, but they're not going anywhere. I'm looking at Denver again, bro. I'm looking at them, and it's almost like they're playing at half speed. They don't really care. They go out there, and I watched them last night against Philadelphia. You know, they do a little something to take the trip to field, do a little something, put the other players out there, let them play. I think they're mentally, they may work, it may not, but I think they're mentally saying to themselves, you know, wait, I didn't, to the postseason come. I didn't realize, man, the job for Durant is off the rest of the year, bro. I just saw that recently, that he's out for Memphis, I guess, with a shoulder.
Yeah.
Other than being in the West, man, the Clippers, you know, another team, you look at them, who's going to get hurt first? You know, when it comes down to it, who's going to get? I mean, between the two, they just resigned. I can't think of his name right now. This resigned to an extension, so you know he ain't going to
Oh,
retire.
Kawhi Leonard, yeah.
Yes, you know he ain't gonna be. Kawhi Leonard's like, I got 2 championships. I don't care about nothing else. You know, I ain't spend no money. My money's all set aside. So I want to see them after the All-Star break. That's what they're doing then. That's nice what they're doing now. But to me, when the NBA season comes around, once you get to that All-Star past the break, those are the teams that really show you we really want it. And I think if some teams fall by the wayside, I will put more respect in Indiana right now than Philly, bro. Because I think once they get everything clicking and get moving at the end of the season, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
They're currently at number 6 in the Eastern Conference. But I kind of feel the same way Black does. When the playoffs come, Harden and Paul George tend to disappear. So this is what I'm looking at. And then who knows if Kawhi Leonard's going to be healthy during that particular stint in the playoffs. So they're giving him an extension. I don't know if I would give him an extension this early. I'd wait until after the season's over with. But your thoughts, man?
Yeah, let's stick right there real quick about the extension. I get it. I mean, he has been injury prone lately, and you're still looking for a championship with the Clippers. But understand this: the Clippers are opening up that new arena.
You're right,
and they gotta have somebody behind it. So whatever they decide to do with Paul George, you know, Kawhi Leonard's a local guy. You know, he's from California. You got somebody to put some behinds in the seats, and he will do that, and he's gonna play hard. So I get that, and you got to have somebody because you can't keep bringing in free agents and stuff like that. Even if they don't do well, we know Kawhi gonna be there now. So now you can build around that, and you can sell that because with this new arena opening. But it's the old Clippers. We know how it is. We don't know who's gonna show up. We got James Harden of the world. You want to play for a quarter or whatever you want to do, and you know, we're trying to hold Westbrook. You know, is he gonna play? Because he mad because he coming off the bench. There's a lot of what ifs out there, man. But collectively, when they come together and want to play on a certain night, they can beat almost anybody because they have the size, they got the talent, and they can go. But it's just whether or not how far they want to go, and that's the issue. Minnesota's still number 1 in the West, holding strong. What can you say? A lot of veterans, big cats getting it together. Mr. Gobert is doing what he do in the center, and Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards. But the question is, can they hold on, bro? Can they hold on? That's the only thing we have to ask that question. Can they hold on? But hey, you got to give it to them right now. They're doing what they do well. They're holding on. OKC, number 2. My favorite team right now in the NBA is OKC. I just like young teams that run and play the way they're supposed to and have no fear or whatever. Denver's number 3. I think Blackthorn's right when they just kind of tread in the water. And then you're going to see them sooner or later. They like in the low end, they start rising, that tide start rising up. Again, my only concern with Denver is the fact that their bench, you know, they don't have the same guys from last year. I think the bench does not get as much credit as they deserve. The team from last year, that bench was just phenomenal. This team is good too, don't get me wrong. But that bench, a lot of guys were playing for contracts, trying to get their money, and they was balling strongly there too. Looking at the rest of it, I'm gonna go back over to the East. Again, like I said, Indiana, number 6 right now. You add in Siakam, they're only 8 games out. They could be making some moves. I don't know how Cleveland is even in 4th place. I don't. Yeah. And what's ironic to me is I leave here, like I'll do here, then I'm gonna jump to Philadelphia and I'm out. But Cleveland has suffered some injuries. I think Mobley's been hurt. Some other folks have been hurt. And they have played better with some of the superstars being out. They've been winning more games. And that should tell you something. To me, I think part of it should be, hey, Donovan Mitchell, I don't think you really want to be there. He got a little taste. He want to go to New York, send him to New York. Get some picks, get whatever you need to do, because I think they're going to be a better team. I think he comes in and play every night, but they're missing something, and he's not the leader they thought he was going to be. He does his job, but they need a little bit more leadership. I would look there too. Philadelphia, I mean, okay, Embiid, you can be MVP. You ain't winning no title, bro. We know that. You just not. You just not. And we know that. I mean, it's nice to say, oh, he's great. And, yeah, okay, he is. But they ain't got enough. They do not have enough. Because you put Denver right now versus Philadelphia in the finals. It's going 5 games. Might be 4. Everybody knows that, but it's nice because them bees will work real hard. And we done tried it real hard, and we try to bring in those superstars. I'm gonna say this real quick, get out of here. And be truthfully, bro, I love your game, play real hard, starting to come around, you giving us all that you have. But you had it and you know you blown it. That's why you really frustrated right now. Y'all had Jimmy Butler. I said this 100 times a long time ago. You had what you needed. You had what you needed. But you and old boy got greedy, and now you are trying to scrap and trying to do all you can. Shit might have sell, bro. But it looked good on paper, look good on TV, and look good on your trophy man.
Time will tell. We're going to table the James Dolan story for next week. Go to NCAA basketball, and there's a new number one. I don't know if they want to be number one after all the number ones have been, cut down. But UConn is number one, followed by Purdue, Kansas, North Carolina number 4. They were ranked number 7 a few weeks ago. Followed by Houston, Tennessee, Duke is ranked number 7. Followed by Kentucky, Baylor, and Memphis. Memphis has been jumping up the rankings. They were number 13 last week. They jumped to number 10. Eye test on NCAA basketball. I'm going to Black first instead of him sitting there listening to Ice first. So Black, eye test, man.
I have to tell you, man, my eyes been closed to college basketball. I'm happy UConn's number 1. It's been closed, man. It may not open up until after, find out who's going to do what in the NFL. I just haven't gotten around to watching college basketball like I should, man. But guess what? I'm still the champ. So we already know how my prescription, we know your prescription or Ice prescription. I'll see you in March, baby. I'll see you in March. That's all I can say. I'll see you in March. I'm always ready in March. You know it. You know it. It's not what I do in January. It's what I do in March that matters.
So playoff B. All right. Real quick, Ice, eye test, man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, like you said, I ain't even gonna say what I was gonna say. That's all I was gonna say something, but I ain't gonna do a jab at him because technically he still is the champion. Technically, anyway. But when you look at it from the standpoint of UConn's playing real well, playing real hard, they just kind of moving forward. But what we're finding most importantly is that how important guard play is, right? Mm-hmm. When the Purdue guards struggle, they lose, right? Kansas, when your guards struggle, you lose. Houston, y'all missing free throws. Larry Michaud and guys like that, from back in the day, when they don't hit, they lose 2 games in a row. North Carolina just easily sneaking up there. It's a lot of parity going on. Tennessee is playing really good basketball right now. And I'm going to throw 2 other names out there and I'm going to get out. I told y'all what I said about Duke. They're number 7 right now. Told y'all about Duke. Y'all sleeping on Duke. Don't pick Duke, Black. It's bad for you. Anyway, but and on one last team, I'll say this really coming along. And I watched them the other night, and they remind me of Houston a little bit, but they're very physical and they mean too. Actually, I lied. I'm saying 2 more teams. One other team is Auburn. Yeah. Auburn's very physical. You do not want to play them in the tournament. They don't care. It's like they're playing because they're hungry. They're playing for a meal. One other team might give them love because they're close to home. And I'm not sure how far they go, but I think they won 12 straight games. That's the Dayton Flyers. That could be a problem. Only team I've seen really give them the business was Houston early because they just had too much. But it's wide open. We'll see. Gonzaga's not even in the top 25. They got moved out. Iowa State's pretty good. It's a lot of things happening, so it's not going to be as clear cut as it was. But maybe, you just pick Kansas again and maybe it all comes together.
All right, let me give you some players to watch, put a spotlight on them. Landon Glassberg from North Carolina A&T. He's a sophomore guard, 6'2" guard, averaging 20.1 points a game. Keon Brooks Jr. from Washington out of the Pac-12, averaging 20 points a game. He's a senior forward, 6'7" senior forward, a really good player. And Tucker DeFries from Drake. If you haven't watched Drake play basketball, they really have a good, solid team. I think it's a tournament caliber team, if you ask me. He's a junior, 6'7" guard, averaging 20.4 points a game. Let's go to the women's ranking. South Carolina is still holding on to that number 1 spot. And I'm looking at Iowa is number 2. Caitlin is playing out of her mind. I think she just passed Brittany Griner as the 4th leading scorer in women's basketball. I don't know if she'll catch my girl who plays for the Aces, but we'll see. Followed by Colorado, North Carolina State, UCLA, Juju Watkins with that USC group. They just beat UCLA. They're moving up in the rankings at number 6. Kansas State follows them, followed by Stanford, UConn, and LSU, who took a tumble. They were ranked, I think, number 7. Now they're ranked number 10 after losing against Auburn earlier this week. I test either black or ice on women's basketball.
I'll let Ice roll with that, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Watching Iowa jump up there real quick, number 2 is great, but they're about to get into the meat of their schedule. I want to see if they're still up there around. I like Clark. I have nothing but love for her, but she's getting a lot of love. I know they 17-1, but the Big Ten is about to get real tight. Ask Ohio State's women; they've had their troubles too, but we'll see what happens there. North Carolina State is phenomenal, great team. UCLA, USC. I saw the first game. USC is coming along. They're making their stand. Stanford's real good right now. LSU, do not count them out. I think come tournament time, they'll turn it around. Baylor's playing well. There are a lot of good teams, like even Indiana, that's ready to step up and do what they have to do. The one thing about this tournament is last year was so grand and great with the women's. I think it's going to be the same thing this year because I don't think there's anybody clear cut. You can say South Carolina, but imagine if you have South Carolina versus LSU in a matchup. Yeah. Are you really certain that South Carolina's going to just win that game?
This year I am. They are dominant this year.
Okay. Look, and I know you like your little point guard over there, but look, I'm gonna go against I'm gonna bet with the field, and I like Don. I think that's great, but I know you like your little point guard over there. You're excited, but they're gonna have to bring it. They're not just gonna hand it to them because you mess around, you play Iowa, you don't get no calls. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that right there.
Blackthorn, your last second shot.
Man, I think we as gentlemen, and for the most part in the world, like sports a lot, you got to really start to think about our health a little bit more. I'm sure you guys heard there was an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors that was out having dinner and had a heart attack. So kind of just raised the idea that it's a new year, not about resolutions or that stuff, but one thing we should start to do in the new year, in the new season, check on your health, bro. Check on your health.
All right, Ice?
Yeah, that's a very somber note. Nothing but great tidings and whatnot too, and blessings to his family. It's very difficult, but I got to jump back on what I said I was gonna do, man. Look, talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna keep it really simple. We got things to do. This is a problem that's collective. It's a collective problem, right? And I said no leadership. Jerry, what else is gonna take, bro? What else is going to take? 3 straight seasons, 12 games, win means nothing. I know you hurting. Bro. I thought I saw him crying or something. I was getting choked up. Think about this, Jerry. And like I said, I'm a casual fan. I'm still rocking with you because that's how I am. I ain't going to jump on no bandwagon. I'm going to roll with it. I can't really cheer for you because I don't believe in what you got. And I'll say this very quickly. Jerry, the last time they even got close to winning, let's say whatever. Jerry, you what, you 80 now? 80 years old. You about to cash your chips in. The last time they won it, bro, you was 50, dog. 50! 50, bro! Wow. 50, bro.
Wow.
50. 30 years. If you pay too much money with that beautiful stadium, too many other things, Dak Prescott with the sleep number bed ain't all his fault, but collectively there is no leadership, bro. And I'm trying to tell you, you can say what you want to, and they might clown the Belichick thing. You need somebody to come in and lead some damn men. Right now, people making bonehead plays. They're not making plays, and everybody go off like they come back again. I'm a Dallas Cowboy. Know the hell you want. Take them damn stars off them helmets, but make their ass come in there and make them earn that thing. And granted, last but not least, I don't know who the coach is going to be or whatever, but if you do got to go year one, I ain't got a problem with Belichick. At least I know he win. He come in here and make some people accountable, even if they don't win the Super Bowl. I take that any day because he going to make men stand up. Right now, everybody oh, but all everybody, dancing, they performing. We need some real the football players. I said we because I've been with the Cowboys since the 70s, bro. When I was a little boy, you fuckers won. I don't know what y'all doing. So y'all perpetrating and whatever. Jerry, get you a real quarterback, man, but you got to clean house. And we need results. Nobody said you got to win the Super Bowl, but damn, don't tell me that you got these great players and when it get tight and we go to the playoffs, don't nobody show up? Dak? I don't know. You gonna blame him? Blame the coach? You gonna blame me too? No shit, bro. Really? Really, dude. Last point. Get off of this. And I said that before. Last point. On the serious tip, Dak, when you get tunnel vision, bro, if you play any Pee-wee football, any guy before the quarterback, when you go back to pass, and me, you, everybody on this panel, and everybody in America know you looking for CeeDee Lamb. Don't you think the damn defense gonna be doing the same thing? You do that pass, dude, still right there. Here it comes. Pick six. Bruh. Come on, man. You better than that.
Let me help Ice feel a little bit better, man. I got a chance to finally watch his nephew Trey Hawkins play. He's from Jackson High School in Seattle, Washington, and he's my new favorite high school player. He reminds me a lot of Jason Kidd. Rumble, young man, Rumble. You got a fan in Puma, and I'm going to be catching your games on YouTube regularly because I love the way you play and I love your mind and how you think the game. And I think I know where you got that from. We'll catch you next week. Peace.